Hello everybody, this is Starman, and welcome back to Let's Play Quest for Glory for Shadows of Darkness, the Thief Path. Well, last time you remember, we made our way through the forest, met Boris the Gatekeeper at the castle, and came into town and met the Burgermeister and Olga who runs the general store. We could go into the inn at this point, but I think we're going to head to the west part of town first.
As you enter the northern part of the town, you hear the sound of a chisel chipping away at a stone block. A man is carving gravestones at one end of the street. Your attention quickly moves from the stone carver to the ominous Gothic building in the center of the street. There is definitely something not right about this structure.
Gee, could it be because it has insects carved into the walls, or a ominous stone thing over the door?
This is a bas-relief of a strange creature. It looks like an octopus with only 6 tentacles. You have a creepy feeling as if it is looking right back at you. It is a thoroughly uninteresting wall. Sort of a wallflower. How did they get those huge stones to stay in place? Through the archway you can see the east side of the town, the residential area.
And look at the door.
There is an indentation near the middle of the shadowed door. It looks like a set of 6 curved spokes radiating out from a central point.
Yeah, we also...
It is a thoroughly The wall is too smooth to climb with your level of skill.
Yep, so we can't climb the wall, but there is a window right there just expecting me to climb toward.
From the hump on his back to his twisted body, this is either the Hunchback of Notre Dame, a mad scientist lab assistant, a gravedigger, or an Elvis impersonator.
We'll go ahead and greet the Gravedigger.
The headstone carver stares at you and then goes back to work.
Introduce yourself.
You introduce yourself to the Gravedigger.
Me, Igor.
Yeah, let's make the thief sign.
Make the peculiar motions of the thief sign to Igor.
Do you make fun of Igor or what?
We can also talk to Igor. So, ask about work.
Oh, this day job. Also work graveyard shift. Little graveyard humor there.
Very little. Ask about grave digging.
Igor dig graves in cemetery. Igor put dead person in grave. Igor cover dead person with dirt. Igor put headstone on grave. Oh, plenty job security around here. Business is piling up. Little graveyard humor there. Again.
Alright, let's ask about the Adventurers Guild.
Building was Adventurers Guild. No adventurers, no guild.
Ask about the town.
Town Moradvia. This north part of town.
We can ask about rumors.
Oh, Igor not hear rumors. Igor not no stranger in town. Igor not no doctor make strange things in lab. Igor not no funny man in inn not funny. Igor not know many things. Igor not hear many things.
Well, we can ask about the monastery.
Bad building. No go there. Bad, bad, bad.
And you can, in fact, try and go in the bad building.
Bad place. Very bad place. Go away. You'll be very sorry.
So yes, maybe we should heed his warning.
It's an advertisement for Igor's headstone business. This weather-beaten boarded-up door once sported a painted sign, but you can no longer read it.
Well, in point of fact, we do have a key for it, but let's check our inventory real quick. Pie pan. This is a metal pie tin perfect for fruit pies. Shopping bag. This reusable cloth shopping bag reduces waste and makes a handy container. Bagging big game with it is not recommended, however. Corn. It's an ear of corn from the fall harvest. garlic. Garlic is said to be potent protection against werewolves and other shape-changing creatures. It's also handy for making stews, sauces, and many other spicy dishes. Oil. The container label reads Squeaky Greaser, TM. Rations. You have 9. These avocado and garlic sandwiches are the strangest adventuring meals you've encountered. Still, they do last a long time and will keep you from starving to death. Of course, you may wish you've starved to death if you have to eat them too often. Rocks. Igneous, sedimentary, or metamorphic, you can never remember which is which. Candy. You have 2. You have several small pieces of taffies twisted in paper. And the key ring. You have the Adventurers Guild key, and that's it. But
Igor like candy. You're nice to Igor.
and let's see. Our communication has gone up to 301. And I think you can keep buying Igor candy. Or Igor candy. Apologies, I keep thinking of Young Frankenstein for some reason. Let's go ahead and listen at door.
It's completely silent beyond the door.
Open door.
The door is locked.
Unlock the door.
Unlock the door using the key the Burgomeister gave you.
And yes, here we are. Adventurers Guild.
It's a rare example of the deadly Moravian moose, distinguishable by its long, fang-like canines. Someone has strung garlic around its neck, probably in hopes that it will stay on the wall. This place appears to have been an Adventurers Guild Hall at one time. Evidently, there are no more adventurers left in Moradvia. The hall is badly in need of maintenance. The painting shows a proud-looking adventurer standing on an obviously defeated dragon. It might have had more impact if the dragon wasn't just as obviously winking. The plaque says, "Wish you were here in Silmeria, Dunstan." The portrait of an adventurer long gone hangs on the wall here. A small plaque at the base reads, Piotr, Paladin. There is an empty picture frame above the bookshelf. Either somebody thought the wall itself was a piece of art, or a thief has been at work here.
Huh. That doesn't seem suspicious at all.
A large ewer, or maybe it's Mia, lies on the table. It was probably used to splash water on overheated athletes. It has a crack in the bottom and isn't useful for much of anything anymore. This is a slightly smaller ewer, what you might call a min ewer.
You might, but
This is a long, sturdy-looking rope with a grapnel hook attached to one end. Trying to be a social climber? You straighten out your jacket and retie your boots. Appearances count.
well, I'm trying to pick up.
You pick up the rope and grapnel set and tie it onto your pack.
And we can use this to practice our climbing skill.
Someone has deliberately scraped these marks into the ceiling.
And in this case, we've got what appears to be a 4-legged flat substance with an eye underneath, which is the thief mark for look under the table. And we will practice our climbing skill later. But we will take this because we're going to need a rope and grappling for what we're doing.
There are a number of books on the shelf, including Hero Magazine's Golden Guild Guide to Moradvia, Flora, Fauna, and Folklore.
Alright, let's go ahead and look at the bookcase. And go ahead and read books.
Which book do you want to read?
Now, we don't get many options as a thief. If you are a fighter, there's a book that teaches you how to use the climb skill, because it occurred to them with this game, oh hey, fighters need to climb stuff too. If you're a spellcaster, there's a book that gives you some helpful hints on spellcasting. Here, but all we get on as a thief is a little bit of flavor.
As you scan through Hero, the Journal of General Job Adjusting, you find quite a bit of information that might be useful here. There are a series of articles about the land of Moradvia. The town originally grew up around Castle Borgov. The Borgovs were the boyars, or local noblemen, assigned the role of guarding the area from invaders. The chapter on fauna describes a number of interesting creatures. The Necritor is a vicious carnivore with big, sharp teeth. Some of the other monsters sound even more horrific. In the forest lives the Lishi, a creature known for playing practical jokes on travelers and playing riddle games, but which can also be helpful to those it likes. You learn about the Rosalka, the spirit of a murdered unmarried woman. Such spirits are said to inhabit lakes and rivers. They try to avenge themselves by drowning any man foolish enough to approach them. You could really learn a lot by reading this magazine thoroughly instead of just browsing through it. Isn't it nice that we included a complete copy in your game box?
And in fact, you do get a complete copy of the magazine if you have the original game. If you buy the current version, you get a scan of it. I've still got mine somewhere. Anyway, read the brochure.
The book turns out to be an advertising brochure. It says, "I, Dr. Cranium, predict that someday one of my descendants will become the subject of a major computer game. The Castle of Dr. Brain from Sierra Online." Jeez, how cheesy can you get?
And there is a bit of a double joke here because we'll meet Dr. Cranium later. But Dr. Cranium is a play on Dr. Brain, who was the star of a number of educational games made for Sierra Online by Corey Cole, who is the co-designer and head programmer of the Quest for Glory games. And we also have Read Talk Fu.
This book teaches the ancient Oriental art of Talk Fu. How to overcome opponents by attacking them with the unpronounceable names of martial arts forms and confusing them with fortune cookie wisdom. You get lost somewhere between karate and kuksul.
Alright, so nothing useful in the books, although we can also take a book.
Hey, this isn't a lending library.
And move the bookcase.
Nice try. But the bookshelf won't budge. If there's a secret passage around here, it's hidden a different way.
Aha! So there is a secret passage somewhere around here.
After some...
But before we go searching for that...
After some rest...
I'm gonna rest myself back up to almost full stamina, so that we can make use of this thing here. And what is this thing, you ask? Well...
Your legs are too stiff and sore to use this right now. This is either some sort of diabolical device or an exercise machine. Come to think of it, exercise machines are diabolical devices. It looks like someone's been making some cracks about the guild hall in here. Maybe guild membership isn't all that it's cracked up to be. After some rest.
But yes, we can use this device to boost our leg strength, which...
Your legs are too stiff and sore to use this right now.
While not vital as a thief, does become very important to fighters and paladins. And oh, hey, it's night now.
After some rest.
But we will go ahead and continue.
There's only a certain amount of punishment your body can stand on any given day. Enough pain, enough gain for now. Try again tomorrow. You consider placing a few more weights in the baskets, but think better of it. You've done enough stepping for today.
Yeah, but eventually you can put all the weights in the machine and make yourself strong enough to do some rather impressive things. So, you know, as always, don't skip leg day. So after that little bit of training, we now have 304 Vitality, 304 Intelligence, and 310 Strength. And our climbing has gone up to 207 after that little bit of climbing we've done on the ropes.
A finely crafted sword rests within this case, but there doesn't seem to be a door or any way to open the case.
Nor is there...
A plaque reads, "Break glass in emergency."
Nor is there any reason why we, as a thief, need to break open the case.
The case looks totally solid, as if it was constructed around the sword. A plaque reads, "Break glass in emergency only." There's no sign at all of a crack or seam in this case. You can't find any way to open it, or even a place to slip in your dagger.
I'm always looking for a place to slip in my dagger, let me tell ya.
This is not a good place to practice throwing.
Yeah, if you are a fighter, you can break open the case to get the... But let's go ahead.
This desk holds the adventurer's logbook, a quill pen, and an inkwell.
Alright, we will go ahead and sign the logbook.
You sign your name into the adventurer's logbook with a flourish. It's almost become a habit by now.
Read the logbook.
You read in the adventurer's log about some of the exploits of past adventurers in Moradvia. Prominent among them is the story of Piotr and the Dark One's cult. Near the end of the book, Piotr tells how he led the armies against the Chernovi cult outside the Dark One's cave. The fighters were trained soldiers, but the cult members fought like madmen. Suddenly the cult members changed their forms and became grotesque monsters. Many of the soldiers panicked and ran. The battle was nearly lost. Then Piotr heard the voice of Irana. "By all my will, I banish you too." The voice was cut off. The cult members screamed and ran. Piotr entered the cave and searched for some sign of life. All he could find were the grotesque remains of cult members. The only sign of Irana was her magical staff lying on the ground. Piotr picked it up and left the cave, knowing that Irana was beyond his help. Piotr then tells how he brought the staff back to town and placed it in the town square. A garden of flowers instantly sprang up around it. Near the end of the book, Piotr tells that he was going to seek out the rituals of the Dark One and destroy them. There are no later entries.
And open desk drawer.
That would be a lot easier if the desk had a drawer.
Alright, well now we can search under the desk. And hey, another set of thief marks. Which seems to indicate some hooks. One going left, down, up, and right. And it's pointing to the right, and then seems to show a ladder with an up. And 4213. Well, if we look over here...
There is a set of coat hooks in one corner. You never knew adventurers were expected to be that neat.
Well, in point of fact... And you can kind of cheat your way through the puzzles, but this is not a terribly difficult one if you're paying attention. In this case, the numbers are the order in which you want to play with the hooks and how you turn them to get them to where they go. So we turn this until that one is up there. Then we turn this one until it goes down. We turn the one on the right so it is going left, and then we turn the one on the left until it's facing left. And boom.
By moving the hooks around, you have opened the secret passage. You climb down the ladder into a seedy-looking room. A massive door blocks off a smaller room in the rear. This isn't as dusty as the Adventurers Guild, and the torches look recently lit. Your eye is drawn to the Thieves Guild recruiting poster on the back wall. It gives you fond memories of your home guild.
we'll go ahead and do a save here. Not that I'm overly concerned about doing something to get myself killed here, but it will just save time later.
This is a Thieves Guild recruiting poster, featuring a sophisticated worldly master thief. In an early excess of 3D poster art techniques, the artist has arranged the poster so that the thief is holding an actual plastic card. A legend at the bottom says, "Don't thieve home without it."
We also got
A single tapped barrel rests against the back wall. The painting is undoubtedly a forgery. Not that you know anything about art forgery, but you're quite sure that it would have been stolen a long time ago if it was actually worth anything. The painting... Some barrels have been stacked up in the corner, probably leftovers from wild guild parties. Some barrels have been stacked up in the corner. You examine the metal grate on the floor. It might be a drainage grate, but it's strange that there should be two of them right next to each other.
Yes.
This is a drain... You examine... This seedy place must be the Thieves Guild Hall. Actually, it compares favorably to the one in Spielberg, but it's become dusty and neglected. There doesn't seem to have been anyone in here for quite some time.
Apart from the torches being lit. But interesting little thing. Let's go ahead and move the poster.
The poster is firmly attached to the wall. There's nothing behind this one.
But we can take the poster.
The poster is firmly attached to...
Actually, we can take the card on the poster.
The painting... Ah, you found a hidden safe. Good work. Ah, you found a hidden safe. Good work.
Unfortunately, we can't do much to pick a safe with a Thieves Guild card, but... Congratulations! This card says you're a member in good standing of the International Thieves Guild Unions Incorporated. In this case, you're in especially good standing because you even stole the card. Of course, useful thing that your Thieves Guild card can do is it...
You slip the guild membership card between the doors and unlatch the lock. Your guild card. Don't leave home without it.
Is it as handy for getting simple latches done? And hello, a thief library.
There are a number of fascinating books about thief techniques on the bookshelves. Of special interest is the one on disarming traps. It says that with a new Mark II Thieves toolkits and a bit of skill in picking locks, you can locate and disarm almost any mechanical trap. In the section on surviving magical traps, the book suggests taking up religion. There is also a book on thief marks that tells you all about this secret language of thieves. You learn a number of new symbols and combinations.
And there's also a handy safe.
This looks like an interesting safe. Another fine product of the Filch Safe Company. But you can't for the life of you figure out how anyone can open a safe with no knob.
Also, we look underneath. Let's see, there's a question mark, a barrel, an eye, and a book on top of a desk. Well, question mark means a secret. That looks like a secret door. Trigger is in the... under a barrel. And we need something in the desk to get it.
You examine the metal grate on the floor.
And actually, if we click on the grate at this point, having found the safe...
Rummaging around under the floor drain, you find a round knob with a point on one side, which you pick up. Thieves have had to clean up after themselves since a few unfortunate accidents with maintenance personnel.
Alright, so we now have a knob for the safe.
Now that you've replaced the safe knob, the Filch safe looks ripe for the cracking. You know, kind of like a walnut. To open the safe, you will need to spell out the combination with alternating right and left turns.
Well, this one isn't too difficult, because they did literally write the answer here on the left, with a note that this is by the Filch Safe Company. So I have to spell out F-I-L-C-N-H.
You quickly rifle the opened safe. Unfortunately, it looks as though legions of Thieves Guild initiates have been here before you, as all the money is gone. You do find 5 throwing daggers placed here for, well, safekeeping. The only other usable thing in the safe is a single lockpick, half buried in dust in one corner. You grab the lockpick and the daggers.
Alright, so an actual lockpick.
The well-worn oak desk looks as though it could conceal 1,000 secrets. Most of the drawers appear to be fakes. The one real drawer is locked.
Alright, let us go ahead and search for traps.
You found a particularly diabolical poison gas trap. Fortunately, it's just like one of those described in the book on traps, so you are able to disarm it.
So let's pick the lock.
Ah, that did it. The lock springs open with a satisfying snick. Inside the desk you find a complete and hardly used Mark II Thieves Toolkit. It has all the latest facilities for opening the toughest locks, cracking safes, and disarming mechanical traps. There is one lockpick missing from the set, so you add yours to it. You also find a fancy match set of 3 throwing daggers, which you add to your collection. Finally, you find some sort of diary or logbook in the desk. The title of the book reads, Memoirs of a Master Manipulator. Modest, eh? You take it out and set it on the desk, but it's a little heavy to carry around with you.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the book.
You leaf through the Chief Thief's logbook. An interesting entry speaks of a proposed night raid on the castle. The guild members would use the secret passage to avoid notice. You wonder which secret passage that might be. A later entry in different handwriting indicates how far the guild had declined recently. It seems to be just a bunch of doodling and some nonsense words. It says, Bad boys yell, good girls giggle, rich girls run. Not quite on the same standard as a nighttime castle raid. One of the final entries says, Fred and Frank caught out at night without hooks. Fred is dead and Frank sank. I'm the last. An ambitious thief will try to prosper by hook and by crook. The log closes with some incoherent ramblings about passing the deadly tentacled beast, then the horror, shadows of darkness enfold me, madness and mockery in the dark one's chamber. Sounds as though the author was in a chemically modified state.
Alright. Well, with that, we now have a Thieves Toolkit. Made by Acme, fine purveyors of professional break-in equipment, this kit has all the tools you need to get ahead, or at least inside. This is the Mark II Professional model, which includes a device to help you disarm traps, which we can use on the safe over here.
You set off a spike trap on the safe. Ouch! You're not sure whether it's safe now or if the trap has rearmed itself. Using the Mark II toolkit, you quickly manage to get the safe open. Inside you find 6 crowns, a throwing dagger, and a potion labeled Poison Cure. They seem a fitting reward for your efforts, so you take them.
Yeah, well, let's go ahead and try hand icon on this one, but in this case, disarm trap.
You set up the Thieves Toolkit and try to disarm any traps that may be on the safe.
And in this case, I want to try and match the colors.
You have successfully disarmed the safe. You crack the safe using the Mark II toolkit. You take the healing potion, throwing dagger, and 5 crowns someone was foolish enough to leave inside.
But there is one more test.
You depress the barrel tap, but nothing comes out. Instead, the barrel slides across the wall to reveal some sort of mechanism. This is a door unlocking mechanism. To operate it, push each of the tiles until all 9 tiles have been set to the correct pattern to open the door.
And in this case, the answer was in the book. Remember that odd poem, Bad Boys Yell? Well, each word corresponds to a color, so bad is blue, boys yell, those good girls giggle, so it's all green, and then rich girls run. And hello?
So, you found my secret passageway. You must excuse me, I'm not quite myself anymore. Oh, don't worry, I won't hurt you. It is good to talk to someone again. It has been so very long since anyone has been here. Ah, but I'm forgetting my manners. Welcome to Moradvia. I am the chief thief here. I'm also the only thief here other than you, but that is beside the point. And
yeah, this is why the Thieves Guild seems to be in somewhat better repair than the Adventurers Guild. And,
He looks like a cross between an enormous beetle and an older version of your old buddy Ugat.
Well, we will go ahead and talk with the Chief Thief and see why he appears to have turned into a giant cockroach next time. Ready, Kafka? Get it? Oh, never mind. We'll see you next time.